Tired of solitaire and want to learn a real game? Stick around. Let me teach you some Texas Hold'em. Hey Internet, it's your old friend Ed here from CasinoHawks.com. Now, if you watched our previous episodes, you'll know there's a lot of information you can apply to Texas Hold'em, but there are still a few specifics I need to lay down before throwing you out into the cold. Let's start off simple. Blinds. Blinds are the mandatory bets placed by the first two players to act at the start of the game. In Texas Hold'em, the dealer holds the usual button, or dealer button, marker. The player to the dealer's left makes the small blind, and the player to the left of the small blind has to wager the big blind. Both of them must pay before any cards are dealt. But the thing to remember is that the big blind is always double the amount of the small blind. Following that, two cards are dealt to all the players and the round starts. They then decide in turn whether to fold, call, or raise the big blind to stay in the game. After all betting rounds are over and the next game is about to begin, the dealer button, the small blind, and the big blind rolls are moved one position to the left. Up next, betting options. This is pretty much a no-brainer as they remain the same as any other typical poker variation, meaning you have the usual fold, check, bet, call, or raise actions, including the always magnificent, terrifying, and many times wrongly used, all-in bet.
All in. Big hair.
Fancy getting clued up on some top-notch poker tips and tricks? Check out our smashing website, CasinoHawks.com. Link down below. Betting aside, let's now move on to how the cards are dealt. Pre-flop, players receive two whole cards, and after seeing their hand, can play by calling or raising the big blind. Betting action begins from the player on the left of the big blind. Also referred to as a live bet, this player is free to fold, call, or raise. Once this player acts, the betting round continues clockwise until all active players place equal bets in the pot. Keep in mind that the blind players act last in the pre-flop round, and even if everyone calls, the big blind player still has the last action, a check or raise. Following the pre-flop is the flop. At this stage, three community cards are dealt face up on the table. Betting on the flop begins from the player to the left of the dealer button. This is where all the rounds start except for the pre-flop. The betting options here are almost identical, the only difference being that since no bets have been put in at the start, like the blinds previously, players can check and pass their turns until someone bets. If not, it moves on to the next round. After the flop round, we have the turn, in which one more card is dealt face up on the table. This is the fourth community card in Hold'em, which is sometimes referred to as 4th Street. Once all active players act, the next betting round begins from the active player on the left of the button. The final round is the last community card, the River, or 5th Street, which is also dealt face up. Betting rules here are the same as in the flop and the turn. And lastly, my favourite moment, the one that separates prey from predator, sheep from lion, winner from loser, the showdown. When the final betting round is complete and there is more than one active player, the last player to bet or raise has to show their cards. If there was no bet in the final round, the first player still in the game on the left of the dealer has to show their cards first. Naturally, the player with the best 5 cards wins the pot, and in the case of a tie, the pot is split equally. Let us know if we've convinced you to check out Texas Hold'em in the comments down below. This has been Ed, wishing you all the luck and reminding you as always to play responsibly.